Hi, I'm Shannon Cyr, and I'm the relationship coach for men. And today we are talking about the lies that we tell in our marriage and our relationships. So, what lies do we tell? Maybe we withhold little truths that might hurt our partner's feelings, or leave out some details of an experience that we have that, we think maybe it would upset them if they knew. Maybe we exaggerate the truth a little here and there just to kind of make them feel better. Things like that, right? Now, most of us, of course, would agree that lying to our spouse is wrong, or that lying in general just is wrong. I mean, we understand that principle intellectually, but that doesn't really stop us from telling those little white lies occasionally within our marriage, much like the ones that I just mentioned. We want to keep the peace in the relationship, and we don't want to hurt our partner intentionally, so we lie, even just a little. And we justify it because we know that it's really coming from, a loving place for our partner and for the relationship. But there is one type of lie, though, that we really tell regularly. And it might seem harmless at first and kind of on the surface, but it's really one of the most damaging lies that we do tell in our marriage. And that is lying about how we feel. And so think about that for a minute. How many times has your spouse asked you how you are and you say, fine? Or really, how many times anyone has asked you how you are and you haven't actually really said how you were feeling? If you're like me, or, the majority of people, that probably a lot, but we're not alone, right? The Normal Bar completed one of the most extensive studies done on relationships. And in that study, they found that 59% of men and 56% of women lie about their feelings. So more than half of us are regularly lying about our feelings to our partners, but we're also lying to ourselves. And so how do we do this? We suppress our emotions, right? And we say we're fine when we're really not fine. We pretend to be happy and content, but maybe we really are feeling sad or alone or kind of lost. We avoid difficult conversations by convincing ourselves that things really aren't as bad as we think. When someone does something that feels bad for us, we don't always speak up and let them know. So maybe some of that sounds familiar. When we say we're fine and we're not, we are suppressing our emotions, right? And so we're not really taught to embrace that and deal with that. And so we say fine, and we're essentially lying to ourselves and to our partners. And this over time really creates just emotional damage and really kind of a block for intimacy, right? It puts up a barrier because two people, they can't truly connect with one another if they're not telling the truth about how they feel. So, it's damaging to our relationship, it's damaging to our partner, and it's damaging to us personally. And so this is one of the reasons why so many relationships suffer and that distance kind of grows over time. Now, again, we weren't really taught to embrace and really express our emotions. And, over time, we kind of learn to avoid them or just not really let them show. And the problem is that, doing that, ignoring them, kind of disowning our emotions, it doesn't make them go away. We don't feel better by ignoring them and kind of stuffing them down. They're still there, just kind of waiting beneath the surface until they finally erupt. So it's kind of like a beach ball. If you try to hold it under the water, at some point it usually comes back up, and usually with some kind of force, right? So it's the same for our emotions. And this pattern doesn't, it doesn't help us feel safe and free to really express in our relationship, but it also doesn't really let our partner know who we are and what we need. So when we don't express how we feel, we're really not telling the truth of who we are, and we're not creating space for that intimate connection. This just doesn't give our spouse a way to understand us or to have the information that they need to really meet our needs. So it's damaging, again, to ourselves, to the marriage, and to our partner. So the next time, that your spouse asks you how you are, maybe give a different answer. Be brave, be bold, and let them know how you're feeling. Be willing to really express those emotions and open the door to, a deeper connection, a deeper intimacy, and a better understanding. So I hope this was helpful for you and that you learned something different about emotions today and the little lies that we tell in our marriages. If you liked what you heard, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel as I come out with different information every week. And if you're interested in finding out how you can create change within your relationship, I invite you to schedule a complimentary exploratory session with me. All my best.